Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and the celebration of big family get-togethers is quickly losing ground to rampant materialism, so I'm going to get with the winning team spending this Wednesday celebrating Black Friday. It's not hard to do as a film reviewer. There are plenty of movies out there set entirely in malls, as it's an easy way for filmmakers to have a movie set in one small location, yet still have several interesting sub-areas to explore. It also helps that they're already built and you just have to rent them out, making them the perfect backdrop for B-grade horror movies. Which brings us to today's movie, Shopping Mall. Produced by Julie and Roger Corman, its original theatrical release under the title Killbots did so poorly, it was retitled and re-released with 15 minutes of the movie edited out. The original movie poster left some audiences thinking it was supposed to be a Transformers-esque kids movie, not the R-rated slasher flick that it was. So we've got a mall, teenagers, killer robots, the Cormans, and no budget. I'm excited already! Let's take a look at Shopping Mall and see whether or not the batteries are included. We open up to a display of jewelry, very poorly sealed behind a thin layer of sugar glass, which our stylish burglar has no problem getting through. If I owned a jewelry store, I'd probably have stronger cases. That and an alarm, or hell, cameras. He didn't even bother covering up his face. But this jewelry store doesn't need that wussy Brinks crap, because this mall is outfitted with a robotic security force.
Stop right there and surrender your weapon.
Now you say.
Funny how everyone always looks so surprised that robots don't have easily ruptured vital organs. The robot chases the man a short distance through the mall before launching a taser, taking him out. Wow. 2 minutes. That's gotta be a new record. Of course, this turns out to be a promotional video by Securitronics Unlimited as they pitch the security robots to the mall staff. As far as I can tell, they've already bought them, so this big rundown of all the robots' features is just to introduce the audience to the killers of this movie.
However, the likelihood of an intruder gaiting entry is greatly minimized by the steel security doors, which are time-locked from midnight till dawn.
They seem so violent. If they're called protectors, what do they protect?
You do realize there are more than a couple things in a mall worth looting, right? He explains that and pitches another feature on top of it.
Lasers positioned here can cut through any sort of debris.
These peaceful, non-lethal protector bots are outfitted with high-powered laser beams to clear debris, like empty boxes, or small children. One thing on this presentation does actually sound like a good idea, though, as the protector bots are programmed not to attack anyone with a security badge.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Same to you. There, you see? The system is absolutely foolproof.
I'll say, it worked even with you changing position and partially obscuring the barcode between shots.
Absolutely nothing can go wrong.
Oh, come on, I don't even have to say anything. This leads to the opening credits, which establish the mall and its features amidst a series of gag shots, and to all those interested, the mall in question would be the Sherman Oaks Galleria, used in several films including Back to the Future Part 2 and Terminator 2. Also, we're treated to the electronic musical score during this entire sequence. The intro segues into the major character introductions, as nobody in the opening sequence is ever seen again, and we find Kelly Maroney playing the socially awkward Allison, and Barbara Crampton as her party girl best friend, Susie.
You've just got to show.
Susie, you've got a one-track mind. I already told you. I don't know anybody.
Yeah, but you will after tonight.
That's what I'm afraid of.
The introverted girl is going to a party to meet someone, even though she doesn't like parties, so chances of her meeting someone she likes at a party are pretty low. But at this very moment, something is happening to the robotic control tower. Well, everything seems okay. It's a good thing lightning never strikes the same place twice. Hey, wait, hold on a minute. Oh, never mind. 3 times isn't twice. The technician manages to turn the alarm off, and everything seems alright, so he decides to reward himself for a job well done with a centerfold. Despite the fact that this is one of the tamest centerfolds I've ever seen, that doesn't mean it's any less of a red flag that this man is going to be killed. By the least intimidating robot arm in horror movie history. Life goes on, however, as we've got to introduce 3 more characters. Ferdy, the introverted nerd character played by Tony O'Dell, Mike, the self-centered jackass played by John Terlesky, and Nick Segal as Greg, who portrays your normal beer and breast-obsessed young man.
I don't know, guys.
Come on, Ferdy. Forget about your Uncle Sid for a while. This is gonna work, okay?
Ferdy, you can't back out on us now.
Oh yeah, that party. Our group of teen adults has had the brilliant idea of having it after hours in the furniture store. Because after all, they don't want their parents to find out, so it's a much better option to choose something that, if it doesn't go absolutely perfectly, is going to get all their asses fired. 2 more characters for the roster, Rick and Linda, are set to join the party, despite the fact that the couple are clearly married, and therefore, if they want to drink and have sex, they could easily do so without trespassing anywhere.
Okay. I guess I won't be needing this. Will I?
Unless danger turns her on, in which case she's absolutely gonna love it when the killer robots show up. Mike introduces us to the last important character of the night, Leslie, played by Susie Slater.
Can't you wait?
No, I can't.
What can't you wait for, Michael?
This scene also establishes that at least one of the parents is a little intimidating.
You lock up?
Sure, I'll take care of everything.
Yes. I'm sure you will.
And despite the fact that he severely disagrees with his daughter getting together with Michael, he does nothing to get in her way. Okay? After that scene, we need to see someone die, and oh, just our luck, another technician happens to show up! Wait, we don't know anything about this guy. What has he done that's worthy of death? Good enough for me. He also looks like the slowest chewer on the planet, as he never quite finishes that donut during this long, part suspenseful, part comedic scene of the protectors inching closer and closer, finally deciding to use their handy grappling hook. Hey, wait a minute, the seminar didn't mention anything about them having all of Batman's toys at their disposal. Now that the mall is closed, the kids waste no time actually making sure that everyone has left the building before they decide to start the party, and Ferdy finally gets to meet Allison.
Hi.
Hi.
Wow. If that's the standard this movie sets, these 2 are going to be the only survivors, aren't they? Also, as the mall is closed, it's time for the protectors to start their patrols. Oh fuck, that was an even more useless investment in mall security than the goddamn Segways! Within these few seconds, the party is already winded down to stage 2, everyone starts having sex.
You smell like pepperoni.
Well, if that's the way you feel.
Wait a minute.
What?
I like pepperoni.
And mozzarella. And garlic. Oh, show me what you can do with those breadsticks, baby! In fact, everyone is quite vigorously going at it, all in the same room, except for Allison and Ferdy, whom instead are spending their evening watching older Corman movies.
Oh, God! Oh, God! You're the king! You're the king!
Chocolate for the furniture king.
We already know they're going to be the only 2 survivors. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a scene where everyone else just decided to shoot up some heroin. They must be working pretty damn fast, too, as the mall is still not quite sealed yet, and there are several characters left in it, such as the janitor, played by Dick Miller. You may remember him from the Roger Corman production, A Bucket of Blood, where he played the lead role, Walter Paisley.
Yo, Walter, you having a good time?
Ty, you know Paisley. He loves a challenge.
Okay, well, it's not like he's a killer or anything in this one.
Now, go ahead and laugh, you guys. But if I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Suddenly, this movie just became 10 times more awesome. They leave him alone, and we get to watch him continuing to mop, which in horror movies is a guarantee that the killer is going to show up soon, and that doesn't disappoint.
You clumsy son of a bitch! Look what you did! I ought to turn you into scrap metal for this!
Oh yeah! Paisley versus Killbots! It's like the Roger Corman equivalent of Freddy versus Jason!
What the hell is that? What is this, you worthless pile of junk, huh?
Alright, now it's Walter's move. Wait a minute. He doesn't have any big hunks of clay kicking around to cover the Killbot in. Uh-oh.
I knew you bastards were gonna be trouble when I first brought you in here.
That wasn't fair! Paisley was completely unarmed! Shit!
Thank you. Have a nice day.
The movie takes no time to slow down following this, as Mike is charged with heading down to the cigarette machine for Leslie, which is obviously just finding an excuse to have him separated from the group.
Oh, Mike.
Why?
Hurry back.
Count on it.
The acting isn't terrible, but I can't help but see everything these people do as basic markers for what order they're going to die in. Naturally, Mike is approached by a protector very shortly, and despite having the badge at the ready, it still corners him, sleep darts his ass, and cuts his throat with the toy robot arm. And if the plastic hands aren't non-threatening enough for you, it cuts away from the shot anyway. As that is clearly a disappointing kill, Leslie heads out alone to see if a blonde in a tied-off shirt and panties can make for a more entertaining death.
Brandon, you don't come out now. Don't bother. All right, wake up.
Wake up! I said wake up!
Is he a narcoleptic or something? How does finding him limp and unresponsive not faze her in the least? At least she realizes something's wrong when she notices his throat's been slashed, and we learn that the Protectors have been programmed on how to make a killer entrance, leading to Protector 1 chasing her down, pelting her with lasers, until everyone is gathered to see the coup de grace. So, was her death more entertaining than Mike's? Hell yes! Let's see that in slow motion!
Thank you. Have a nice day.
At this point, Protectors 1 and 2 decide it's time to get Act 2 moving, so they no longer ignore the large group of oh-so-killable teenagers in Furniture King. We get a very explosive chase sequence, and while they're trying to figure out what to do... all the ridiculously reinforced doors seal shut, preventing our group of victims from being able to leave the mall. It's a hell of a lot better than just having them walk in circles for no reason. Therefore, they have nowhere to go.
Well, what about that?
The air duct.
Of course! All we have to do is morph into gaseous forms and we can just drift our way to freedom! And how the hell is that supposed to work? Of course, just like any movie, these air ducts are large enough to easily accommodate a full-grown human with no risk of breaking because they were only designed to carry, air. Hey, hold on. Plastic explosives? That was not part of the seminar either. Bonus features my ass. This interruption separates the 3 male survivors on foot from the 3 female survivors in the air vents. Appear to have changed order at some point, as the last one in, Allison, is now somehow taking point. While the women worry about cooking... seriously, the computer turned on the heat in the vents. The men worry about getting some guns. They raid a sporting goods store that is quite unlike any sporting goods store that I've ever seen. What mall do you know that has assault rifles ready for purchase?
You sure you know how to shoot that?
Yeah. Saw Dirty Harry 24 times.
Well, at least he didn't say he got the high score in Space Invaders. Soon enough, Protector 1 tracks them down and they open fire, but look shocked at the fact that robots don't have easily ruptured vital organs. They should have just kept digging earlier. That sporting goods store might have had a rocket launcher, or maybe an artillery cannon. Freddy makes do with lesser munitions, tossing a propane tank, which they shoot, causing an explosion that knocks Protector 1 out of duty. And I guess I should mention they wouldn't be able to do that without incendiary rounds and the proper oxygen mixture in that canister, but then I'll have to complain about every single movie and video game ever made. Susie can't take the heat, though, and leaves the confines of the air ducts with the other two ladies in tow.
Well, if we gotta go, let's not go empty-handed.
Take the cap off and stuff the cloth in.
That's it?
That's it. Light it and throw it.
That's not necessarily it. I mean, even if we assume that this mall somehow sells gas canisters that are pre-filled, those are made of metal. Metal has a hard time shattering.
Sound like you've done this before.
No, but the Molotov cocktail recipe isn't known for being particularly complicated. Allison also notices a sale on road flares, so without telling anyone, decides to store one in that secret compartment all women have between their breasts. Because she kept this action unnecessarily secret, we can assume that this flare will come in very handy during the climax. But oh no, Protector 1 is still alive! And worse, Protector 2 finds the girls before we even know they've left the shop. And even better, their gas cans don't do shit to slow it down.
It's not stopping!
And Pokemon always taught me that steel was weak to fire! They flee, but Susie is shot in the leg, so of course can't even bother to try to crawl away, while the others just watch as Protector 2 kills her.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
That's some amazing aim. She's on fire, and nothing around her is burning, and the gas can is still intact. I'm impressed. The men show up to save the day, allowing the women to escape as they provide cover fire that we've already established twice does nothing. In any case, they flee and lure the robot into an elevator, which they destroy in order to take out Protector 2. I think. Protector 1 was more convincingly destroyed, and he's still kicking, so I really don't think that was enough to kill Protector 2. As they have time for a breather, Greg shows that he hasn't taken the death of Susie so well, and is going a little bit crazy.
Because the fucker's out there waiting for us. He's waiting to pick us off one by one! But I got news for you. He ain't getting me.
He's next in line to die. Freddy mentions to the group that the master computer is on level 3, so they figure if they can destroy it, the protectors will deactivate, saving their asses.
Computer, huh? Let's go trash the fucker.
Of course, Greg rushes ahead of everyone like an idiot, but on the plus side, he does find a shortcut back to the first floor.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Very shortly thereafter, they discover that Protector 1 is still kicking and they flee into a clothing store, locking themselves in, which allows the robots to finally use their lasers in a manner that is consistent with the seminar from the opening. No, I didn't expect them to cover every minute detail of what these bots would do in the movie, but it's nice that the product description covers at least 20% of the features. As they are again secure for the moment, they take the time to degrade into a shouting match, but the gravity of the situation causes them to calm down shortly.
I guess I'm just not used to being chased around a mall in the middle of the night by killer robots.
You see, this is why I've personally spent more than 200 hours on Robotron 2084. You know, just in case. The robots finish breaking in, but our small group actually does do something slightly intelligent, setting up mannequins as a diversion, as well as a mirror that, lucky for them, causes the robot's laser blaster to ricochet right back to him. And yet they're still stupid enough to stand around like idiots, which will obviously get them killed. No, I'm sorry, you really should have seen that coming! And in another obvious turn of events, Rick drives the least impressive vehicle available into the robot, killing himself, but somehow destroying the machine, which then explodes because, well, explosions are cool. Now that all the obviously going to die characters are out of the way, Ferdy and Allison decide to split up and run down separate service corridors looking for the computer. But the control tower was already fried in the beginning of the movie, wasn't it? And unless this is like Short Circuit and lightning just gave them all free will, and they happen to be psychopaths. Unsurprisingly, they don't find the computer, but Protector 1 has no trouble cornering the unarmed woman. Oh, like he can hear you. But wait, he can! From all the way down, wow. Damn, that's a long way down.
Laser malfunction. Laser malfunction.
Shit, they spent how much on this trio of killer robots and they didn't even come equipped with bulletproof lasers? The robot instead tosses a handy canister at Ferdy, gently knocking the wind out of him.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Oh, I mean killing him! The responsible man who didn't have sex was killed, with hardly any blood. Yeah. So we get our final chase between Protector 1 and Allison, which doesn't do too bad in terms of scares, at least if you're uneasy about snakes and spiders. Works for me, the Killbots are about as terrifying as Wall-E. After suffering a fall to put some distance between her and the robot, she heads to the paint shop to set up a trap, dumping gallons of the highly flammable chemicals onto the floor. If the treads can't get any traction, which is what you're trying to signify, they wouldn't be able to rotate like that either. Never mind that though, as Allison pulls out the flare from her secret booby compartment and poses for the cheesy line before the kill.
Have a nice day!
Which she gets wrong. It's thank you, have a nice day. You heard it 4 times, didn't you? In any case, she destroys the shit out of the robot, limping off as the story comes to an end.
Hey!
Yeah, I wasn't dead, but didn't want to interrupt your climax there. I mean, I can't stand Deus Ex Machina myself. Well, that was Chopping Mall, and it's so stupid and cheesy and predictable, and I love it. I don't know if you'd say it's so bad it's good, because the acting isn't too shabby, for the most part, and when the kills are not up to par, that's hardly a quality in any light, but there is a lot to enjoy about this movie. Mainly, I'd have to say that the pacing is really well done, perhaps a reason why 15 minutes were cut out of this film, but it's hard to fault it when the final product gives us everything we need to know, then throws us in the main events and keeps the pace from beginning to end. It's only a 75-minute movie, but it does feel complete. That being said, there are things that didn't quite fit for a horror movie, specifically the killers for this film. I don't think I'm alone in finding the robots to be anything but scary, and the way they're designed makes me think they wouldn't be nearly so difficult to outmaneuver. The array of abilities they're equipped with does keep things interesting, but damn, it is possible to make robots a hell of a lot scarier than this. The human characters are generally unremarkable. Not really bad, but nothing too unique or memorable, but in this genre, they serve their roles. Plus, while the music may annoy those who don't particularly care for electronica, it is very fitting for this movie, without a doubt. All in all, Chopping Mall is a stupid, basic slasher flick that just so happens to be perfectly paced, and keeps things entertaining from beginning to end. Its more glaring flaws hold it back from greatness, but it still kills in being sheer fun to watch, earning 4 exploding heads out of 5. As I always say, a movie is meant to entertain, so just because something is a ridiculously cheesy, low-budget exploitation flick doesn't mean it isn't loads of fun. Thank you all for watching, I've been Decker Shado, and remember, if you eat another man's donut, you deserve to die.
What the hell is that?